I've been using the MoveLink wireless microphone system from Godox for well over a year, but now there's a new version which promises bigger range, better sound quality. So in this video I'm going to take it outside, test the range across a windy car park, and then wander around a complicated large office building to see whether it really is an improvement on the original version.
Alright, so right now I'm not wearing a scarf, I'm wearing the two different Godox transmitters, the version 1 and the version 2, and they are linked up to a Sony a7 III and a Zoom H1N audio recorder. They don't seem to be interfering with each other, and I'm going to walk out of this building and across that car park in order to test the range. Now, what I also thought might be quite interesting was this building is a complicated shape. So right now I am walking through the atrium, so out the office door. So there's two walls currently between me and the office. The weather outside is absolutely horrendous. Wind will be like dead cats on both of them. If we go, not sure what the wind will be like on these things. I put dead cats on both of them. If we go across here, you can see that the office window is there. So there's the camera. I'm currently stood approximately 3 meters away from the camera, and I'm recording to the DJI Action 2 as well. So we'll go across the road and we'll see how far we go before the audio cuts out. And hopefully the wind isn't killing the things too much. So the version 2 has a audio reduction feature on it called dynamic noise reduction, which is just basically a filter which is supposed to kill background noise, which I'll test on the return leg of walking across this car park. Now, people have mixed feelings about these. Some people think it's easier to remove the noise in post and that it loses the atmosphere, but there are scenarios like in a noisy room where you're doing an interview where that would be quite a useful thing to have available to you. Wow, the wind is strong, so I'm not sure if any of this audio will be usable anyway. So I'm probably now about 25-30 meters away from the building. And this audio here is from the DJI Action 2, just its inbuilt microphones. So anyway, yeah, the low pass filter, to cut out the background noise. It can sometimes affect the quality of people's voices, but if you're doing a corporate interview in like a warehouse or something, there's background going on, it can be quite useful for that sort of thing. Now people say, well, you want the background noise for atmosphere. My personal choice is I'll take my H1N recorder, stick it in a corner with a shotgun mic on, and record background noise, and I'll just drop it in as a track below, and that way it gives me a bit more control over how I control the audio. As we go across the car park here, we are getting quite close to the main road as well, so there's been quite a bit of background noise. As I turn around, I'm going to turn on the dynamic noise reduction on the version 2 of the Godox transmitters, and see if that makes any noticeable difference. Although, to be honest, the wind has been so strong that I would be surprised if any of this audio is remotely usable. And all the way I've walked to the edge of this car park has been with my back to the window, so it's not only having to pass through the window, it's also passing through my body. Right, so the dynamic noise reduction is now turned on. The dynamic noise reduction is now turned on the Godox version 2 and MoveLink 2, and I will move back towards the office. I think I'll check on Google Maps, but I must have exceeded the 50 meter range that is advertised for the version 1 and the 100 meter range for the version 2 quite easily. So it'll be interesting to see when they pick up. 100 meter. It's you think about target market, I could see these being really favoured by wedding guys, hybrid shooters at weddings, making up the groom, making up the bride, that sort of thing. Now, I don't think direct line of sight audio is range is probably what these guys worry about. It's probably more about the fact that the rooms are unusual shapes. If they how well these things pass through walls and that sort of thing. So when we get back to the office, I'm going to set up the camera in the atrium, which is like the reception area of the office, and I'll have a wander around and we'll see when and if it cuts out, and hopefully we won't have any wind noise in the office, obviously. So we shall see. I mean, in the box for the MoveLink 2 version is pretty much exactly what you get in the box for the first version. And so you get the USB box that you can use as a charger, which holds all 3 points, very convenient, but you also get 3 USB cables if you want to charge them independently, which is very handy. Then you also get the 2 lav mics. I tend not to use their lav mics. I tend to use my own I've had for a long time, but I have used them and they've been okay in the past. The new ones, the foam is a little bit stiffer. They seem a little bit, the cable seems a little bit thicker. They seem slightly better build quality, but I'm not really sure what that'll translate into so far as actual build quality is concerned. Everything that's in the first box is in the second box pretty much, except the screens are a bit better and the box is black, which is like a small thing, but if you own the first version, it's convenient that they don't look the same, which of course just saves me from having to independently label them. So we're back in the office now and wondering if it's picking things up again or not. So we set up the 2 cameras with the 2 microphones very close to each other by the doors of the office, and we'll take a walk around and see how well they hold up. So I'm just on the same level as the office now, as the camera. The audio recorder, walking through the bottom of the office building, and the light's going to change a lot in here because it's all auto activated lights. So I'm now at the far end of the office, which I don't even know if the camera will pick me up because I pointed up over, because the office is over multi-levels. We'll try all of the levels. Now we go through here, which is like the bistro, which is available to rent if anybody's looking to open a cafe at the moment. It doesn't have a tenant. We'll cut down this back corridor. So we're putting quite a lot in the way of walls, etc., between the audio recorder, which is why I am using the. So we're putting quite a lot in the way of walls, etc., between us and the audio recorder, which is why I am using the DJI Action 2, so that we've got something to synchronise back to. And there we are. So at this point I am just about back at the camera. So I'm back at the camera very close. Now I will go upstairs in the office and I will use the stairs. So go up to the first floor. And we'll walk to the back, which is not quite as far as the back of the downstairs because there is some office space here, which occupies some of the floor. But we are currently a significant distance from the camera, and I'll walk a long way around to add some extra distance. So I think this sort of scenario is probably much more useful for hybrid photographers, particularly wedding photographers or event photographers who might need to mic somebody up who is a key participant in the event. But having said that, the one flaw I would say of these units is that they have a mute button on, which is most convenient, but it's very easily pressed. So it'll be very easy for somebody who's not used to wearing it to accidentally mute themselves. And I wonder how much of my heavy breathing you can hear there as I come on the top floor and climb the stairs. Maybe we should go down the lift and see if the electrics on the lift make any real difference to the quality of the audio. I'm not sure if the Sony camera downstairs will be able to see me at this point, because I don't think the field of view is wide enough. So let's catch the lift down. And down we go. You can't actually see the camera from the lift, but we're just passing the first floor now. Back to ground where the camera and the audio recorder are. So we'll go and collect them and see if they manage to actually record audio. Okay, so back in the office now. I've had a chance to sit down and listen to the recordings that we made, and yeah, the version 2 of the MoveLink has definitely got better range. The claims that Godox are making are definitely true. The range has definitely improved. As far as the battery life is concerned, I can't really say for that. Dynamic noise reduction, it works, but whether you think it's a good thing or not is entirely up to you. Now, if you should you order the version 2 or the version 1? If you think about buying these, then definitely order the version 2. But be careful. I have heard reports, because they're the same price, version 1 and version 2, version 1 just being phased out as old stock, of people being sold the wrong one, ordering online. Now, I'm going to put a link down below to the Amazon third-party seller that I bought mine through, who definitely ship the right one. And be careful when you're ordering. The M2 in the name of these does not mean version 2. It means 2 monitors and 1 transmitter. You're looking for the MoveLink 2, so you want the 2 after MoveLink and before the M2, and you should know anyway because it's black and the other one is grey. The 2 has definitely seems to have better range, better clarity, and it seems to pass through walls and things better as well. Now, should you buy the MoveLink 2 over the Rode Wireless Go 2 or the DJI microphone pack, which again comes with 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, it's entirely up to you. I haven't actually owned either of the others, but I have heard good reports about them all. But when it comes to cost, these come in about £200 for a set on Amazon. The MoveLink, the Rode Go version 2 is about 30% more expensive, at about 260, 265, something like that, and the DJI is a little bit even more expensive at 289, 290. One of the main advantages that those have is that they do have internal storage, so they can record the audio on the transmitter, and obviously that takes away a bit of the risk of it cutting out when you're away from the camera, so that's something definitely to consider. But I think it's a definite improvement over the first version. The value is there. It's a value proposition. For me, who mainly uses them for filming YouTube videos and things like that, when I'm not more than 10 foot away from the camera most of the time, they are absolutely perfect, and I would imagine they're probably going to be fine for most people in most circumstances. I don't think many people are going to walk 200 meters away from the camera, as I did when I went outside, and I don't think many people are going to wander around buildings coming out of sight of the camera. I think most things like a wedding ceremony, that sort of thing, where you might want to make up the bride and groom, you've got the officiant, the person marrying them, etc., then you're going to have no real problems with these anyway. But obviously it's your choice. Hope that was helpful.